A plane was preparing to land. Then something went wrong. There was a truck parked on the runway. The captain quickly aborted the landing and tried to take off again. But to their shock, a passenger plane that had just taken off appeared right in front of them. The small plane was torn apart in the collision, then crashed to the ground and exploded. Meanwhile, in the passenger plane, the cockpit alarm started going off. The co-pilot immediately turned off the autopilot and switched to manual control, but the control stick was unresponsive. The captain froze. The co-pilot had to shout a few times to snap him out of it, but to his horror, the captain's control stick wasn't working either. Every system in the cockpit was jammed. The captain called the control tower, desperately explaining the situation, but things got worse. The plane's computer systems had completely crashed. The tower, after hearing the report, immediately grounded all flights on the northern flight path. But a passenger suddenly saw. Then another passenger plane appeared in the sky, flying straight at them. The two planes narrowly missed each other. Now the plane was completely out of control, and it kept climbing higher. Based on the captain's information, ground control calculated the plane's speed and flight angle. They estimated the plane would stall in about 40 minutes. The captain decided to shift the plane's weight forward, asking all passengers to move to the front. This would tilt the nose downward and help the plane glide into a stable position. Hearing the announcement, the passengers quickly moved forward. Then suddenly, the cargo straps in the hold snapped. Containers slid toward the back. The added weight increased the plane's climb angle by 4 degrees. When ground control learned of this, they calculated the plane had less than 15 minutes before stalling. The co-pilot rushed to the cargo hold to investigate. He found a hole about 2 meters wide in the plane's fuselage. He reported the situation to the captain, warning that if another cargo strap broke, the consequences would be catastrophic. The containers were too heavy for one person to move, and in these conditions, he was at risk of passing out from a lack of oxygen. Out of options, he went to the cabin to ask for help. But the plane was now only 7 minutes away from stalling. A few brave passengers joined the co-pilot and headed to the cargo hold. Working together, they barely managed to push the container aside and secure it with ropes. As they were about to return to the cabin, a loose steel plate caught by the wind and suction hit one of the passengers, knocking him into the hole at the bottom of the plane. The container's new position reduced the plane's angle of ascent and brought it into a stable glide.